This is Nathan Dickerson, Communications and Tech Director. We're here at Catalyst Coffee Company because I want to learn a little bit more about what they do and why they do it. So we're going to jump in, talk to Sandy Nienaber, General Manager, and learn about Catalyst. Sandy!
Hey, Nick!
Hello! Hey, I'm here. I want to learn more about Catalyst. Figured you'd be the perfect person to ask.
You know all the right people.
Would you mind having a seat with me to talk to you for a little bit?
Sure, let's go.
You wear
Yeah, come on, we come back here in this room. It's a little more, it's kind of, tends to be the quieter of the room, so. All right.
coffee chairs.
You know what?
Awesome.
Anytime I get a chance to sit down.
Especially with me.
That's right, so, what do you want to do?
First off, Sandy, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for sitting down and talking with me. I just want to ask to start, how long has Catalyst been here?
We have been here about 5 years, going on 6 years now.
Okay, wow. And tell me, how did Catalyst come to be? How did you end up here?
Well, there were some benefactors, some people at First Christian Church who, Scott actually, I think our pastor Scott came up with the idea, and then the more that they got together and talked about it, it developed into something bigger and something super creative and cool. And so a few benefactors got together, pulled funds, and First Christian Church planted us, joined in and planted Catalyst here, and this is where we are. And I guess I could tell you that our name tells a lot of the story of the vision behind Catalyst. So we wanted to be a catalyst for change in downtown, so that's why we're here. We wanted to help grow downtown and drive some business downtown because we love it here in Greenville. First Christian loves Greenville. And we also wanted to be a place where people could come together and meet. Not at home, not at church, just that third place, and you'll see a lot of that happening here. And the room we're in right now is one of those places. It's, we rent it out, people reserve it, and they just come in here and you can see tons of stuff happening in here. But the biggest driving force was just the idea behind how we operate. And that is that we give back 100% of our profits to organizations already doing good things in the community. And that's because we could be a food bank or a homeless shelter or a clothing closet. We could be all of those great things, but there are already really good people and really good organizations doing those things. So we just want to be able to support all of the people doing all the great stuff.
Oh, so awesome. And so you're talking a little bit right now about mission. And so I wanted to press more into this question and ask, what about Catalyst sets you apart?
Oh. Well, I think one thing for sure is, speaking of, we roast our own coffee. And some people watching this video might be drinking some of that coffee right now. But we take pride in the quality of our coffee and the quality of our food and sandwiches and just in everything we do. So the fact that we do roast our own coffee, and our motto, which as you can see is, we love God, love people, and love coffee. Sometimes you have to love two of those before you can love the third. But yeah, so it's so great, and you never know what you're going to see when you come in here. It's a different place.
I want to ask, you said about giving 100% of profits and giving back to the community. What are some organizations that you have supported in the past or are currently supporting?
We've supported the Boys and Girls Club of Greenville, Youth Builders of Greenville, the Kiwanis Club, CASA, recently Critters Work, which they train service dogs for our veterans. We've supported Central Ballet Theater, and pretty much every club or sports team at a city or county high school, middle school, elementary school. If you've been to a silent auction, you've seen us there. So that's a lot of where a lot of it has gone. Currently, we're actually doing a fundraiser for the Greenville Theater Guild, and you can see that in the envelopes, when you walked in, hanging on the wall. And the way we set that up is the Theater Guild is trying to open a theater in the round, a black box theater, just down the block from us here on Depot Street, again, to give back to downtown and the community. So we have hung envelopes up, numbered 1 through 200, And all it is you come in, you grab number 62, you put $62 in it, or your business puts $62 in it. It's a tax write-off because the Theater Guild is 501c3, and we'll give you a cup of coffee, and yeah, you're helping grow our community. So what's really cool about it is if we can fill, and this is Catalyst, if we can fill envelopes numbers 1 through, let's say 1 through 100, how much do you think that is?
15,000.
I'll help you. It's $5,000.
$5,000?
Okay.
That's what I said.
That's right. Okay, now 1 through 200. Do you know how much that would be?
10,000. No.
It's a good guess.
15,000.
$20,000. So I'm super excited about it. I'm passionate about Catalyst. I'm passionate about downtown in Greenville, and I'm passionate about the theater. But I would love, for people just to walk in, and they do, ask about the envelopes, put some money in, and help give back.
Yeah. And so let's come back to this question then. The question, when you said you never know what you're going to see, what do you mean? Tell me about that.
You can see strangers connecting, sitting at opposite tables, but overhearing a conversation. We've seen people get business opportunities, people go, vacation, just different things where they connect. We've had promposals happen here. We've had videos filmed here. We've had, yeah, I know, right? By people with makeup teams and no. We've had, you may see Kevin Bacon. There's more to that story if you're interested. See me later. We have live music, coffee with a cop, but I will tell you this story if you got time because it's just dear to my heart, and I repeat it all the time, but we do a lot of times what's in-house we call Jesus Java. There's a donor at First Christian who will occasionally give us money, and it's basically a pay it forward, but we don't just pay for someone's. They don't come in and ask for it. The way it works is when someone comes in and they place their order, we have this money, and we'll say, okay, today, yours has been paid for. Not that it's free, just the same way Jesus paid for your sins on the cross, a price was paid for you. Today, someone has paid for you. And so it is a pay it forward, but we do that. And one day, this little boy, he probably was 7, maybe 8, he and his little sister walk in. And they're so cute. And they come in and he's got a Ziploc baggie full of change. And he sets it on the counter and he looks at her and he looks at the change and he looks at me. And he said, how much is a frozen hot chocolate? And I tell him, and he looks down at the change and he looks at her and he says, we'll take one of those. And I said, how would you each like your own? And I explained to him the way it works and that, about Jesus dying for his sins and stuff, and gave him both their frozen hot chocolates. And he looked at his sister and he looked at his bag of change and he looked at me and he passed that bag of change across to me and said, can I do that for someone else? And I said, of course you can. And then he grabbed his little sister, turned around, put his arm around her, and as they walked out the door, he went, now didn't that feel good? And it's just those stories, those things that happen that you see here that mean way more than Kevin Bacon. He's cool, but that's neat. That's life-changing.
That is super incredible. Not only the pay it forward, the Jesus Java, but this kid in that moment even got to hear the name of Christ.
Absolutely.
And so with all this stuff happening at Catalyst, with your mission work and giving back to the community and being here to be a catalyst, the question I want to ask last is just, how can we help? How can we help Catalyst Coffee Company?
Okay, there's tons of ways, but I'll give you one immediate one is you've probably heard or read that we are collecting candy for Halloween happenings. There will be thousands of people roaming around downtown and kids trick-or-treating from business to business on Halloween from 4 to 6 p.m. So if you want to bring a bag of candy to Catalyst or at church, I think you're usually at the front door and the back door, there's a collection point. Also, if you want to give out candy, come join us. It's a lot of fun. You get to see all the costumes and pass out some candy. That's one of the more immediate things. But if you are good with a hammer and nail, if you like to drill, if you are an electrician or a plumber, know anything about those kinds of things, I'm always needing some help. If you're an IT person, you're my guy or girl. And guys, if you're not good with a hammer and you like to do laundry, I have something for you too. But one actually really neat thing, because I did say we roast our own beans, is if you're interested in that, because it's a really cool process and want to learn how to roast, we could use all the roasters we need. And if I had her picture right here, there'd be like a wonderful, hey, this is Heidi Chandler. She's my hero, because I will be like, oh no, I'm almost out of espresso. And she's like, I'm on it. And, it's huge. It takes a great load off of, my mind and my shoulders. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of ways you can help. But you know what? Just bring a friend and come have a cup of coffee.
Speaking of coffee, I've been smelling this whole time. I'm ready to get a cup, and I want to hear about kettle bacon.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So I'm standing there at the counter and just wiping it up, and I hear this voice say, "Hey, is it okay if I get a picture with your staff?" And I'm turning around, I'm like, no Kevin Bacon, I'm busy right now.